right, so you want to talk about something serious?
Yes, but not yet.
Okay.
I want to show you the last videos.
So these are the ones you did about Joshua Barney?
Correct. Looking back at them, I felt they were kind of textbooky, kind of straight up history. And don't get me wrong, Joshua Barney is really interesting. I mean, he was a Commodore, he was a captain of a privateer vessel, he had ship battles, he conned his way out of a British prison. He was the quintessential American hero.
Which is why so many people in Fells Point told us we ought to do an episode about him.
Which is why I was super excited to do an episode on him. Going back and re-looking at the footage, it was so much information, I almost felt like the excitement got lost in it.
They were better than the original Brianna.
Well, in your opinion, they were. But there was something about the episodes that really did make them interesting.
And that was?
The people. The individuals that were telling the story were what really captivated me. So when I went back and re-looked at these episodes, I wanted to have them edited in a manner that shifted the focus onto these people. Well, here, let me show you the first episode. Hi, and welcome to the next episode of History at Risk. In Maryland right now, they're celebrating the Bicentennial of the War of 1812. And I don't know that much about it, so I really want to know what's up with the War of 1812, and in particular Fells Point in the War of 1812. The best place to start when looking for information about a historic district is the Visitor Center, and that's where I'm going right now.
Well, hello.
Hey, how you doing today?
Doing good.
Frank.
Welcome
Tybush.
to Fells Point.
Thank
Jim
you.
Wheeler.
Nice to meet you. I came to find out more about Fells Point.
Now, this building that you just came in, this was built in 1859 as a horse trolley barn before they had tracks for trolley cars.
Oh, wow.
So that essentially they were horse-drawn wagons with out-facing seats where the passengers could just jump on and jump off, paying the driver as he drove through the city.
So kind of like mass transit for
Yep.
in the old age, though.
Definitely. Okay, in 1870, the horse trolley barn was sold and it became a rope chandler's shop.
And what's a rope chandler's shop?
A chandler was literally a merchant that specialized in a particular trade.
Okay. So basically a shop specializing in ropes.
Precisely.
Okay.
Every size, every dimension, every length, any length that you could possibly imagine, you could come to the rope chandler and you could buy the rope you needed. It was like better than going to a hardware store because he had all of the rope. This waterfront out here, from the municipal pier right outside our front door,
Okay.
all the way out to the river, was nothing but shipyards
Really?
and dockyards. There was a forest of masts, and I'm not talking about hundreds of ships, I'm talking about thousands.
That's almost
This-
unimaginable to think about because you don't see that many ships in one place anymore.
No, they're gone. They're
Yeah.
a part of history. Well, there's a set of double doors over there. Those double doors have been there since this was a horse trolley barn. When a building got sold in 1870, the rope chandler took over, and he installed this scale over here. This wooden slats over on the floor, that's actually a wagon scale.
So this right here would be weighed with that right there.
Correct. And you get your weight by sliding your weights across here and so forth. Now, why would a rope chandler need a wagon scale right at his front door? Because when the wagon came in loaded with rope, you wanted to get the weight of that old rope
Okay.
The old rope was sold back to the rope chandler to be sold to the almshouse and converted to oakum. Now oakum, and this is what I've been playing with, it's soft and fluffy, it's fun. And it's got a rather neat scent to it.
Can I smell?
Sure. Once the old rope was off from the wagon would be weighed a second time, empty, and then it would roll forward and it would be loaded with the new rope. And this lift was used to unload and load the wagon. You can pull it down this way. Now, one of the nice parts about it is this. Watch, I'm going to spin this, and it stops all by itself. So it's not going to come down crashing on your head.
You should have a sign right here that just says "Look up," because I didn't know until you pointed up. I didn't know that was up there.
Oh, all right. Now, in this room, I want to introduce you to Commodore Joshua Barney. Commodore Joshua Barney is one of our most famous. And right across the hall from him, we have another famous privateer. This is Captain Thomas Boyle. Thomas Boyle was another hero right here from Fells Point. He took the Comet on 3 separate cruises up and down the eastern seaboard. This model is the Comet, and the model itself was commissioned to be built by Thomas Kemp. The commission was issued by Captain Boyle. Now, Captain Boyle is the most famous privateer, whereas Commodore Barney is probably one of the most famous sailors.
This is a big change from the previous episode about Jim, and it's a lot of interesting stuff that he talked about the building that we never heard before.
Yeah, and that's really what drew me in was the passion of the Fells Point Preservation Society. They're really about putting the focus on the history of Fells Point. I think this is the perfect example of why when you go to a new town or city, you want to know what to visit, you go to the visitor center because those people have a lot of resources that they put into telling you about the history, showing you where to go.